Hello and welcome back to the port. I'm the Gaff Major and this is WoWs Weekly. WoWs Weekly is the weekly Thursday video which covers off the news of the game in the week past, in the week coming up, also covers off some speculations, a bit of me floating my own ideas out there, and also a little bit of the channel admin. So basically it's a nice weekly wrap of the game and the channel. So, first of all, let's start off with the notes taken from the community manager's stream of the 4th of December. Well, first item is in regards to the Cleveland nerf. Now, if you'll remember a couple of streams back, when they were asked, will the Cleveland receive a nerf, the response from the community manager was yes, something along the lines of the Cleveland will receive a nerf in one way or another. So therefore, not really implying the nerf was going to be directly at the Cleveland, but possibly something aimed around what the Cleveland does. We've had a bit of an update on this. So the Cleveland nerf is not to just the Cleveland. So it's definitely a wider nerf, and it's going to be more in regards to the equilibrium of power skill. So potentially, we're going to be seeing inertia fuse high explosive or equilibrium of power as we know it being nerfed a little bit, which, well, I guess it's fair enough considering how hard the Helena and the Cleveland can really hit sometimes. Now, on to other things. Obviously, it's a repeat again, but no Global XP ships this year or next update. Now, they've just added that or next update item. So that kind of nullifies any discussion regarding Duke of York coming as a Global XP ship, at least this patch or the next. Now, they confirmed that HMS Duke of York's presence in the Bureau is as a teaser for now. So there's no confirmation on when she'll come to the game. I'm going to hedge my bets and say she'll be the campaign reward for the next patch. However, they're not confirming anything and just basically saying she's there. She's coming at some point, but she's classified as a teaser. So potentially she might not actually turn up next campaign. She might turn up in the new year as another campaign or Global XP ship. But that won't be, if she does come as a Global XP ship, she won't be arriving until like February patch or well, the next campaign after that. Now, next things are just covering a few things. They have an idea for battleships to have alternative modules to choose from within their third tier slot. This is being currently considered, and the things that are being considered is so rather than it being limited to just target acquisition mod, there's some thoughts in regarding adding an option to choose a concealment mod for tier 6 and tier 7 battleships. So that'd be quite interesting because I know that in World of Warships PC, battleships can through their through their modules can pick concealment, and yeah, that's not made available to us on the console, and that's being toyed around with. Obviously, if that does come to the game, I'm probably not expecting that anytime soon, to be completely honest. At the moment, it's just an idea, but it might not go anywhere. Now, someone did ask the question there, will there be more ships before the end of the year? But the answer is yes. Like, there's always going to be more ships. And with another patch coming as of December the 21st, then definitely will be more ships. So that's kind of a yes. Yeah, there will be more ships. Just what ships, when, etc., etc. Now, there's a potential for a community stream with the head of the development stream early next year. So that could be another potentially interesting stream in which they go through all of the development behind the scenes stuff. And obviously that does end up releasing quite a lot of information, so that'll be quite an interesting one to look out for. So that's everything to cover off the stream. If I haven't mentioned it, then it's either been previously mentioned recently or it's just not being considered at this moment. So, going on to the update for the Xbox Series S/X, this has received the green light, and basically, if you have the game downloaded on the new console, you will be told there's an upgrade, and you will have to go through a 19 gigabyte update or patch for the game. Now, if you haven't already got World of Warships on your next gen console, that's the Xbox Series S or X, then you can download the new version of the game directly from the platform store. Now, all Xbox Series S and X users will experience the following improvements. Xbox Series S will receive 60 frames per second in 1080p, and Xbox Series X players will be able to have 60 frames per second in 1440p or 30 frames per second at 2160p. So that's basically 2K and 4K for those of you who aren't up to speed like myself. Now, it does mention that voice capacity or voice chat in its full capacity is not available as yet, but it is on its way. So in the meantime, Xbox Series X and Series S players will only be able to communicate amongst themselves, so they won't be able to talk to people who are on the PS4 or the PS5 or the Xbox Series One, isn't it? Yeah. So that's one thing to note. Also, they are working on a new build for the PlayStation 5, and that is currently in progress. However, that's going to take some time because obviously they didn't have access to all the information prior. So obviously that update's a bit behind. Now, one thing to always maybe have a chuckle at is the current numerous issues that we are having with the World of Warships Legends Advent Calendar. It seems to be you either getting 403, 404, 503 errors. It seems to be a bit of a slog sometimes just trying to get it to work. However, it does appear that these issues are being fixed on a daily basis, and fingers crossed it should become a lot more stable in the future. So this week is the first week of the Tokyo Express campaign, which will run for this week and next week, so it's 2 weeks, and it has 40 milestones. If you have Amity backing, then you will unlock Japanese commander Razio Tanaka, and if you already own Razio Tanaka, then you will receive a personal commendation for him, and if you have him already fully ranked up, then you'll get a universal commendation. Now, it's obviously quite a short campaign. Now, the reason why it's a short campaign is basically this patch. They've stretched it out to a 6-weeker, which is interesting, and we'll talk about that a bit later. And the next campaign will be a 6-weeker as well. So again, we'll come back to that. But so what they've done is they split this into a 4-week and a 2-week. And so with this shorter campaign, you have to there basically be a weekly havoc for the each week, and then there's going to be a Tokyo Express shakedown trials, which will be available for the entire campaign. So that's quite interesting. Now, going on to the actual details of the weekly havoc. Obviously, each week you have to win one battle, earn 10,000 XP, earn 600,000 credits, and earn 500 global XP, and that all has to be done in standard or versus AI tier 3 to tier 7. Then the shakedown trials that then follow that are basically locked by the endurance trials, and therefore then become all available, and that is basically destroy 5 enemy ships in a tier 4 to tier 7 destroyer in standard battles. Set enemy ships on fire 12 times. That must be done in tier 4 to tier 7 cruisers in standard battle. And there's also hit enemy ships 120 times with your main battery, and that has to be done in battleships tier 4 to tier 7 in standard. So that endurance trial and shakedown trial per week will give you 350 renowned. Then the Tokyo Express shakedown. Now this is in 15 battles, be top 4 of your team by XP received, and that has to be done in standard battles tier 4 to tier 7. I'm not going to repeat that again because that's the same for all the others. So the next one is be the top 3 in your team by XP, and the next one is be top 2 in your team by XP, and that will earn you another 300 renown. So in total, you will need 975 renown in order to complete the campaign, and if you complete all the weekly habits, shakedown trials, and the Tokyo Express shakedown trial, you will receive 1000 renown. So that does leave you with a little bit of a squeaky room, I guess you could say. Now, some people have been asking whether or not this campaign is worthwhile. Well, I guess first thing to mention is obviously you do have to spend 2,500 doubloons in order to unlock it, but once you unlock it, you will be automatically, well, the first step of the campaign is basically 1,250 doubloons. So basically it is at half price, but then it's only a 2-weeker as well. Now, if you get the amateur backing, what are you getting more? Well, you're getting, let's see, what's worthwhile here? You're getting 22 promotion orders. Okay. 2 insignias, 1 commendation, and obviously half your money back. So it's all swings and roundabouts. I think, like some people have been saying, it's nothing special. Is to be complete honestly, there's nothing there that you can't get within the game already. So maybe as like a little boost before Christmas, it could be tempting. I know personally, I think myself, I'm not going to be getting Apathy backing for this campaign until I've completed it, and I know what's coming in the next patch. So that means then I can work out whether or not I want to bother. Now, going on to other item news, this is the last week in which you can complete Season 8 of Ranked, as this will be ending on December the 14th. So, if you are trying to finish Ranked, I know that I am. I've got myself to rank 4 and 2 stars as of recording. Got to try and get through if I can. Wish me luck, because I know that this season of Ranked has been a bit of a scratch your eyeballs out at times. So that'll be a nice one to wrap up. Now, also going on to the Azure Lane event. So we're still in the middle of that, and that is still going on. And the Azure Lane second wave will continue to be available until the end of this patch, which is on December the 21st. So if they do tickle your fancy, there's no rush into getting them as yet. However, your time is slowly running out. So, quick cover off of channel news, nothing really to report. Done the Patreon video for this patch, which was the review of the Polish/Pan-European destroyer, the ORP, oh no, Biszewiecka? That's my best chance of it. There's a reason why I use Google to pronounce it in the video, because there's no way I'm going to be able to do it. So that'll be carded top right now, if that does tickle your fancy. Also, if you are on Patreon, you've been teased a little bit of an idea as what I might start doing once I've reached 1,000 subscribers. So if you are on Patreon, you feel free to check that out and give any commentary in regards to that. What your thoughts are. And for the next week and stuff, well, I know I've got to try and do a secondary battery video in regards to that. I might do a couple of Let's Plays and some different ships. And this time next week, probably a bit more than 7 days, like sometime after. So this time next week, but a couple, maybe plus a couple of hours, we're probably expecting the patch notes. So time to do some speculations. Well, you already know my speculations that we're probably going to be having HMS Duke of York as a campaign reward ship. We know it's a 6-week campaign. I'm also probably going to, obviously we're going to get Christmas crates, so expect that. Probably a Christmas camo as well, hopefully a new camo, but if we get the old one again, then it is what it is. Now, also expect some discounts, probably on par to the Black Friday discounts being available in the store until the end of the patch. Now, I don't want to. I just want to float this idea. Like, we know we're not getting carriers this year, but the last time we had a 6-week patch was December 2019 through January 2020. And we had the Yamato event. And this 6-week patch, they wanted to do the aircraft carrier testing, but they had to delay it until next year due to some bugs that they needed to fix. and the next patch is a 6-week patch. So the the current 6-week patch was made so they could possibly test carriers, but it's been delayed. The previous 6-week patch was for the testing of the Yamato/Legendary tier. So potentially, we might get aircraft carrier testing event in January. At least that's me floating my idea of it. If it does, maybe they will stick true to their it won't be this year, and therefore it might start on the 4th of December, which would be the 3rd week of the patch. So that means it would be available for about 4 weeks of testing. It'd probably be on par with the way that the Yamato event works. So maybe there'll be some missions which you'll have to grind out in order to get access to a aircraft carrier, whether that be a tier 3 or a tier 5, potentially a tier 7, you never know. And then you'll receive a token per day from your daily crate in order to spend on playing your aircraft carrier. Spend on playing any of your aircraft carriers. You also probably have a daily mission in which you can get yourself a second token in which to play an aircraft carrier for the day. And then also you might be able to buy tokens from the store, because obviously they're going to want to get their hands on your hard-earned cash as always. So that'll be quite interesting. I also hope that they chuck in a load of missions in regards to playing ships of the same tier, and also maybe to encourage people to shoot down aircraft and things like that. So it means if they do introduce carriers introduce carrier testing next patch, then expect a possible rework of anti-aircraft. Possibly some anti-aircraft consumables for cruisers, and maybe the odd destroyer or battleship. Possible cruiser commander and battleship commander rework. Also potentially the release of maybe one aircraft carrier commander for the carrier nations coming. Maybe that might be like bundled in, or something like that. I mean, it's all speculation, it's all floating the idea, but if it happened, it wouldn't surprise me, is the best way to do it. I think we're obviously building up towards the aircraft carriers. We know the testing is coming Q1 2021. We know it's coming, quotation marks, sooner than we might think. However, it won't be this year. Okay, so not this year. So the 4th of January, that sounds like a plausible drop date. Well, if you have any of your own thoughts or speculations that you'd like to drop in the comments, then feel free, and then we can I can discuss over them in next week's Wells Weekly before we get the patch notes. So until then, if you have enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you like this kind of content, feel free to subscribe. And if you are already subscribed, let's say thank you very much, guys, for your continued comments, contribution, and support. Down in the description will be the email address for the channel if you want to send in any of your own game captures, and also the link to Patreon if you want to support the channel on Patreon. Until next time, I'm the Galloping Major, and back to the port.